Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Friday, October 28, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Detroit Pistons vs Atlanta Hawks. These teams played a very competitive game on Wednesday night with the Pistons hanging in it the whole way before falling. The question for Detroit is how long will it take for their young nucleus to come together and close out games that hang in the balance. We know there is a lack of veteran leadership outside of Bogdanovic, which can be difficult to work through. Atlanta has benefited from the addition of Murray to the mix, as he is a nice complement to Young in the backcourt. The Hawks have decent depth, especially with Collins healthy at the moment, and they could be a force in the Southeast Division. Given how the Pistons have their issues and that they are playing their third game in 4 nights here, give the edge to Atlanta to sweep the 2-game set. Our team pick is Atlanta Hawks minus 5.5 points. The total has finished over in 4 of Detroit's first 5 games of the regular season, including the first meeting between the Hawks and the Pistons on Wednesday, when 231 points were scored to finish over the closing line of 229 points. The total has finished over in 8 of Detroit's last 9 games overall, and in 6 of the last 9 played between Atlanta and Detroit. Detroit's defense is one of the weakest in the NBA, allowing an average of 120.2 points per game, which is 26th. Take the over 227.5 points. Orlando Magic vs Charlotte Hornets. I will be taking the Hornets minus 2.5 in this game, as they have been better than people expected without LaMelo Ball. They are now 2-2 this season and looking for more against the 0-5 Magic. Charlotte currently has the 4th highest adjusted offensive rating in the league, as I see them consistently scoring throughout this game. They are averaging 124.5 points per game, and the Magic have continued to struggle on the defensive end of the court. Orlando currently has the 17th highest adjusted defensive rating in the league, and they are giving up the 16th most points per game. Charlotte will push the ball up the court and look for early offense throughout this entire game. The Hornets also have the 2nd highest team shooting percentage, as I have confidence in them knocking down open shots throughout the game. Now, the Magic aren't anything special on the offensive end of the court. They are scoring the 3rd least amount of points per game, and they are only shooting 44.6% from the floor. Charlotte currently has the 11th best adjusted defensive rating in the league, as they will make it difficult for the Magic all night. Charlotte is the better overall team, and they will continue to show that in this game. Pick the Hornets and lay the points, minus 2.5. On defense, the Magic currently have an adjusted defensive rating of 111.8, which is the 17th highest rating in the league. They are surrendering 113 points per game and allowing their opponents to shoot 44.7% from the floor. This is the 9th lowest field goal percentage allowed and the 16th most points given up per game. They have to continue to close out on open shooters, as they can't continue to give up wide open looks. Orlando is also allowing their opponents to shoot 36% from behind the 3-point line, which is the 19th highest percentage in the league. They will also be looking to grab as many rebounds as they can, as they are averaging 44.8 boards per game, which is the 14th most in the NBA. On the defensive end of the court, the Hornets currently have an adjusted defensive rating of 109.1, which is the 11th best in the league. They are allowing their opponents to score 117.3 points per game and shoot 45.5% from the floor. This is the 21st most points surrendered per game, as they have continued to struggle to keep their opponents from consistently scoring. This is the 12th lowest field goal percentage allowed in the NBA, though. They have continued to contest shots near the basket, and they have been great at defending on the perimeter. Their opponents have struggled to consistently knock down the long ball, as they are holding their opponents to the second lowest three-point shooting percentage in the NBA. They have only made 28.1% of their three-pointers. The Hornets are also snatching 45.5 rebounds per game, which is the 10th most in the league. Our total pick is over 228.5 points. Washington Wizards vs Indiana Pacers. The Pacers are playing well from an offensive standpoint. They are averaging 107.6 points per 100 possessions, compared to nearly the exact number of 107.7 points from the Wizards. This is the biggest spread the Wizards have been labeled with all season. Therese Halliburton and super rookie Benedict Mathurin have been stellar. They are averaging over 20 ppg and should keep the Pacers in the game. Furthermore, 2 of the 3 Wizards' victories this season occurred by 7 or fewer points, including a 114-107 win against this Pacers squad in the opener. Also, Miles Turner is back in action after missing the opening 4 games, which is huge considering his outstanding defense. Take the Indiana Pacers plus 6.5 points. I also like the under in this matchup, as Washington's defense has been solid, while Indiana's offense failed to get going against Washington earlier this year. The Wizards are 3-1 in hitting the under this season, while the Pacers are 3-2 in hitting the under. Although Indiana's offense has played well, that was against bad defenses in San Antonio and Detroit, while on the road this season, the Pacers are 2-0 in hitting the under. Even though Indiana is playing at a pace of 106, which ranks 3rd in the NBA, Washington ranks 22nd at 100.2, and I expect them to slow it down and help the under cash once again. Take the under here. Boston Celtics vs Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland's off-season moves seem to be paying off early in the season. The Cavaliers acquired star guard Donovan Mitchell from Utah, and he led the team in scoring in his first 3 games with the team. Mitchell struggled against Orlando on Wednesday, shooting just 5 of 19 from the floor, but he dished out 8 assists in the 103-92 win. Big men Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley took over as the top scorers, combining for 38 points. Allen pulled down a team-high 16 rebounds and has now led the team in rebounding 3 times this season. The Cavaliers stepped up defensively against Orlando, holding the Magic to 42 points after halftime. Boston got off to an excellent start this season, building on its trip to the NBA Finals. The Celtics picked up 3 consecutive wins, beating Philadelphia, Miami and Orlando, although all 3 wins came by 10 points or less. They were unable to wrap up their 3-game road trip with a flawless record, though, losing to Chicago by 18 points on Monday. There was an additional setback that occurred in that game as well, with Grant Williams getting handed a 1-game suspension for making contact with an official. He was ejected from Monday's game and will miss this contest. Matchups are not the only thing to take into consideration when handicapping an NBA game, but I expect them to play a key role in the outcome of this contest. The Celtics are going to have trouble containing Cleveland's strong frontcourt on Friday night, especially without either of the Williams on the court. Boston has only covered the spread 2 times in its last 7 games dating back to last season, while Cleveland has covered in 5 of its last 7 contests. The Cavaliers are looking like a legitimate contender in the Eastern Conference after adding Mitchell, and they are not being respected by the betting market in this game. Take the Cleveland plus 5 points. Boston has to feel sublime about its chances to contend for NBA Finals championships for years to come after breaking through and winning the East last season. The Celtics' big 3, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, keep them among the league's elite, and the off-season addition of Malcolm Brogdon might put the C's over the top. The 29-year-old was a key cog in the Milwaukee Bucks rotation a few years back and should be a good fit for Boston's championship culture. While he's been injury-prone during his pro career, the former Virginia Cavalier figures to come off the bench for Boston, which could help keep him in the lineup. I expect Cleveland to muddy this game up on the defensive end, as they're 2nd in the NBA in points allowed, 100.8 per game, and 6th in opponent field goal percentage, 43.8. Their offense is also middle of the pack in points scored per game, 113.3. Mitchell doesn't have a bona fide second scoring option with Garland out of the lineup and will likely press too much to make a statement in his first big opportunity as a Cav. The Celtics haven't been playing well defensively, but with the extra rest and preparation for their opponent, I have to figure they will give a more spirit effort on that side of the ball at home. Go with the under at 224 total points.